There are moments when you stop scrolling, freeze, and just watch. Kody and Janelle, two people who spent decades building a life together, are now falling apart in a small apartment. The tension is palpable, emotions raw, as Kody paces defiantly, demanding that Janelle admit to the world that he was gaslighting her. Janelle, feeling exhausted and trapped, stands her ground, struggling to hold on as everything they built crumbles around them in that tiny space he once claimed was too small for him. We witness this heart-wrenching scene unfold live, unfiltered, and unedited. Hey everyone, it's Maria DB, and welcome back to Soul Sister Wives. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss our deep dives into the drama of Sister Wives. Also, I'd love to hear from you. Where were you emotionally when that fight aired? Because wow, it didn't just land, it hit hard. That moment wasn't just another argument for Janelle. It was the breaking point. This wasn't about Kody raising his voice or needing control, something we've seen before. It was about the painful realization that he never saw her as an equal. The respect she earned, the loyalty she offered, the years she sacrificed. All of it meant nothing unless she complied. Unless she became like Robyn. We've been witnessing this unraveling for seasons now. The subtle jabs, the rules disguised as safety measures, the favoritism, and how Kody began treating Janelle and their children as mere background characters in a show where he and Robyn had taken center stage. How did it come to this? How did a family that once thrived on shared faith and unity become so fractured that Janelle felt the need to leave just to breathe? Stick around as we explore what truly shattered this family and why no amount of tell-alls or polished apologies can mend what Kody and Robyn have torn apart. When Kody claimed he had someone fundamentally loyal in his life and suggested that Janelle could have the same if she were as loyal, everything shifted. The atmosphere changed. It wasn't a genuine request. It was a demand for obedience. What he really meant, without sugarcoating it, was, be like Robyn. Don't question me. Don't resist. And don't defend your kids when I say they're wrong. That wasn't love. It was control. Kody wasn't just changing expectations. He was redefining what marriage meant. Being a wife now meant silence, and being a mother meant prioritizing your husband over your children. If you didn't, you were disloyal. You were the problem. He clung to the concept of loyalty like armor, viewing any dissent as betrayal. Janelle, who had devoted years to holding everything together and raised 6 of Kody's children with strength and patience, was suddenly told that none of that mattered. The only thing that counted was obedience. Then came the painful double standard. Gabriel and Garrison, 2 sons who had always tried to forge their own paths, were labeled rebellious simply for questioning Kody's ever-changing rules. They didn't ask for much, just equality and a genuine relationship. But Kody rejected any relationship that didn't revolve around Robyn. When Janelle refused to evict her sons for him, that was the final straw. He saw it as betrayal. Now compare that to Dayton, Robyn's son. When Robyn and Kody faced an issue with Dayton, how did they handle it? He was told to stay in an RV outside their home. There was no dramatic confrontation, no public humiliation. It was quiet and considerate. Janelle's children, however, never received that kind of mercy. This speaks volumes. There were always 2 sets of rules, one for Robyn's kids and another for everyone else. Kody expected Janelle to discipline her sons harshly, but when Robyn was in a similar situation, he offered her space and silence. So, what happens when the man who is supposed to lead the family creates a system where there's a gold standard wife and everyone else, including the children, is treated as second class? You break. In the end, you either submit or leave. Janelle made her choice. She refused to submit. She chose her children and herself. That's when Kody's so-called loyalty test escalated into a full-blown conflict. This was no longer just family dysfunction, it was favoritism weaponized. A family that was once built on equality had transformed into a kingdom ruled by a single throne, with Kody determined to keep Robyn on it. For those of us watching Sister Wives from our living rooms, the adult drama was complex, but the real destruction was happening to the children. No story resonated more than Garrison's. His presence, his absence, the silence surrounding his pain. This is something the show can never erase. What we witnessed was not merely uncomfortable family tension. It was prolonged, oppressive emotional suffering, the kind of hurt that reality TV often overlooks. But not today. Today, we saw it and felt it. Garrison was not just a minor character in this narrative. He was a son, a young man yearning for a connection with his father. He found himself torn between loyalty to his mother and a desperate desire for recognition, attention, and appreciation from a father who was increasingly distant. When he and Gabriel pushed back against the now infamous CO regulations, rules that Kody had taken credit for but everyone knew were actually Robyn's, they were quickly labeled as disrespectful. But what were they truly asking for? Time, attention, fairness, and love. How did Kody respond? By turning on the cameras and repeatedly condemning them, portraying them as villains in moments that should have been private parenting experiences, now turned into public spectacles. These boys didn't sign up for this. They didn't choose to be pawns in Kody and Robyn's drama-filled narrative, yet the cameras kept rolling. The show constantly needed content, and they became unwilling participants in the most devastating way possible. Many forget that this wasn't just a family, it was a filmed family. In reality television, the line between real life and scripted drama is completely blurred. Kody could appear on national TV, label his sons as disobedient, call Janelle a failure as a parent, and shift the blame for their distance onto them. Those boys had no clear platform to defend themselves unless they chose to step into the same spotlight that was causing them pain. Some did, but it didn't help. It only drew them deeper into the cycle. More pain, more headlines, more sound bites for the show to consume and regurgitate. The show didn't protect them, it exploited them. Even after Garrison's death, the cycle continued. Kody spoke about his pain and grief on screen, but it felt. For over a decade, Sister Wives sold us the idea of togetherness. 4 wives, 1 husband, a dozen children, and the promise that this unconventional family structure could somehow work. That was the narrative, the branding TLC relied on. But beyond the carefully composed shots, matching outfits, and picture-perfect family dinners, lay a chaotic reality that no camera could fully capture. What we witnessed wasn't true togetherness. It was a performance. The longer the cameras rolled, the clearer it became that this wasn't one big happy family. It was a system in decline, held together by tight editing and even tighter denial. To the outside world, it may have appeared as love and commitment, but for those living it, it was a hierarchy, favoritism, and burnout. Reality TV gave Kody a platform, and he used it to manipulate events, control the narrative, and preserve one relationship at the expense of all others. Kody and Robyn portrayed themselves as the peaceful, united, spiritually balanced core of the family. Yet, while they thrived in front of the cameras, financially secure and emotionally fulfilled, the other wives were crumbling behind the scenes. For over a decade, Sister Wives sold us the idea of togetherness. 4 wives, 1 husband, a dozen children, and the promise that this unconventional family structure could somehow work. That was the narrative, the branding TLC relied on. But beyond the carefully composed shots, matching outfits, and picture-perfect family dinners lay a chaotic reality that no camera could fully capture. What we witnessed wasn't true togetherness, it was a performance. The longer the cameras rolled, the clearer it became that this wasn't one big happy family. It was a system in decline, held together by tight editing and even tighter denial. To the outside world, it may have appeared as love and commitment, but for those living it, it was a hierarchy, favoritism, and burnout. Reality TV gave Kody a platform, and he used it to manipulate events, control the narrative, and preserve one relationship at the expense of all others. Kody and Robyn portrayed themselves as the peaceful, united, spiritually balanced core of the family. Yet, while they thrived in front of the cameras, financially secure and emotionally fulfilled, the other wives were crumbling behind the scenes. We witnessed Christine reach her breaking point, Mary clinging to the remnants of a dead marriage, and Janelle, the steadfast and reliable one, beginning to question everything she had believed. But the moment any of them spoke out or disagreed with how things were being run, the illusion of harmony shattered. And when it did, Kody and Robyn didn't try to mend it. They doubled down. They huddled together, forming a protective circle, leaving the rest of the family to face the storm alone. Now, let's talk about money, a topic that has long been swept under the rug. Don't be mistaken, when those TLC checks came in, they weren't evenly divided. While Christine, Mary, and Janelle juggled side jobs and MLMs just to make ends meet, Robyn didn't have to struggle. She had the cushion of Kody living in her home full-time, providing her with undivided attention and emotional as well as financial support. She enjoyed stability while the others fought for security. What Kody and Robyn had wasn't a marriage, it was a power partnership. Kody played the role of the controlling, misunderstood husband, while Robyn quietly embodied the soft-spoken, misunderstood wife. She maintained a pristine image while he vented about disloyal wives and disrespectful children. But their intimacy came at a high cost. Every other family relationship quietly deteriorated in the shadow of their so-called unity. The show didn't just document this breakdown, it profited from it. The more dysfunctional the family became, the higher the ratings soared. Tears turned into cliffhangers, and dramatic arguments became multi-part episodes. Agony was rebranded as entertainment. That's the most sinister aspect of all. Reality TV didn't merely expose dysfunction, it thrived on it. It perpetuated the dysfunction. Love isn't what draws viewers in, it's the chaos, and chaos drives ratings. Off camera, this wasn't a family trying to heal. It was a family being chipped away, minute by minute, season by season, all for the sake of programming. No matter how many staged heart-to-hearts or polished retakes of supposed healing they presented, the truth behind the screen was palpable. The reconciliations were scripted. The moments of coming together were narratives crafted for the audience. There comes a point, especially after enduring emotional destruction for so long, where silence becomes your only refuge, where cutting off contact isn't a punishment, but a form of protection. That's where Janelle finds herself today. So, for anyone still questioning why she won't have lunch with Robyn or respond to Kody's half-hearted attempts to reconnect, it's not about resentment. It's about setting boundaries. When Janelle sat down for that tell-all interview, the tension was thick. The questions were cloaked in concern. Could you see yourself being friends with Robyn again? Is there still a path to reconciliation with Kody? But beneath those inquiries lay a refusal, a rejection of everything she had endured. We watched her choose her words carefully, not because she was hiding anything, but because she had so much to protect: her peace, her children, and her hard-won distance from years of gaslighting and guilt. Yet, the show continued to push for a happy ending, as if forgiveness was the only acceptable outcome. As if, after everything she had been through, the smart choice would be to smile on camera and let it all go for the sake of the story. But here's the truth. Sometimes healing means walking away and never looking back. Janelle made it clear she could be in the same room as Kody and Robyn if necessary. She could be polite and engage in small talk, but genuine friendship, lunch, something authentic, that ship has sailed. It has sunk. Not because she's cold or angry, but because once trust is shattered that deeply, nothing can mend it. No amount of time or TV therapy can fix that. She knows exactly what would happen if she opened that door again. The manipulation, the guilt, the expectation to conform. She's done playing that role. There's no fixing something that was never built on respect in the first place. Janelle's strength lies not in what she has said, but in what she hasn't. Her ability to avoid being baited, her calm defiance of a predictable closure arc, and her quiet commitment to healing even when the cameras are clamoring for a moment of forgiveness. So, when you see her choosing distance over drama, silence over storyline, remember this: that's not weakness, that's power. Her peace isn't tied to Kody's regrets or Robyn's approval. It's the result of finally choosing herself after years of being told she never measured up. She doesn't want to be friends because some things aren't meant to be repaired. Some doors remain closed for a reason. And that's the hardest part about reality TV, especially shows like Sister Wives. The people living in the chaos aren't the ones holding the pen. Their lives are filtered through someone else's lens, cut up, reframed, and repackaged for prime time. With Janelle, we haven't just seen a woman walk away from a broken marriage. We've witnessed someone gradually reclaim control over her own story, piece by piece, with quiet, unwavering strength. She didn't need a dramatic argument or a showdown. Janelle's calm, almost matter-of-fact statement, "I just don't like them," was the real mic drop. After years of smiling and playing nice for the family's sake, that sentence marked her line in the sand, a declaration that she had given enough. She was done explaining her pain just so someone else could turn it into content. The cost of allowing someone else to tell your story is steep. You watch your reality sliced into digestible episodes, see your children dragged into conflicts they never agreed to, and worst of all, you become a supporting character in a version of your life that feels unrecognizable. But Janelle didn't just survive. She found her voice amid the ruins. Sometimes, the best thing a woman can do is leave the noise behind, let the credits roll, and skip the reunion. Thank you for spending time with me today. I am Maria DB, and this is Soul Sister Wives. If watching this family unravel resonated with you, or if you've ever had to draw a line in the sand that no one else could understand, share your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and keep showing up for the truth, because more often than not, the real story is the one they hoped we wouldn't notice.